Today I'm going to be doing a little bit different than what I normally do. So this is Simpsons Hit and Run. I apologize if the color is bad. I'm recording it through my phone, and it is look. Let's just say it's not the best quality. So um, I apologize for that. But hopefully you guys get the gist of it. It's just just playing the game, trying to discuss a few things for the future. And for those of you who haven't actually seen this game, then that's another reason. This is available for the GameCube, so that's what I'm playing it off of now. I'm not going to do any of the missions simply because I've done almost all of them, and it's just more fun to just watch Homer drive around being an idiot. So, or in this case, being me. So, I do have the volume turned down, so that way I don't risk getting copyrighted, even though I'm pretty sure they can't do that since it is a game. And this is really, really bad. So let's... try that and see if it might help. That doesn't help much either. That just makes things worse. Okay. So clearly that doesn't work. So I apologize, but the imaging is going to be bad. Because it's too bright and sunny out here in the game, and I just don't have a screen recorder, so otherwise I'd be using that to do this. So in this game, there's a bunch of things that you can do. It's basically Grand Theft Auto Simpson Edition. So you start off playing as Homer Simpson. All of the characters are voiced by their original voice actors, which is great. It's not really free roam like you'd think. It's more of it is free roam, but it's not like you can go anywhere in the world type free roam. So Homer's got a couple of different outfits. He's got casual, which is just him in his underpants. Homer Simpson Moo, which is what he did in king-sized Homer. And then the Chosen One, which I don't remember what episode that's from, but it's an option that you can do as well. For the time being, we're just going to stick with Homer in his regular clothes. And then in certain places like the Quickie Mart, you're able to interact with certain objects, such as this. And you can play the arcade game. You can go behind here and do something with the ATM. And you can even come over here and talk to Apu. So you can always talk to Apu and cycle through their voices. The graphics in this game aren't near as bad as you'd think, considering this is almost a 20-year-old game, if not over 20 years old. You got Milhouse standing in the corner. And then the old guy with the beard, I can't think of his name. I think his name is Jasper or something. And you can interact with him as well. And then after you play as Homer, you're able to play as Bart. Whoa, that was really, really blurry. Again, I apologize for the really bad color. If I could fix it, I would. But I don't have a screen recorder for my TV, and even if I did, I wouldn't know how to operate it. So, let's see, there's a couple other places you can actually go into. I don't know if you've noticed, but where your quote-unquote GPS is, on the side, notice how it fills up yellow. Once that starts flashing red, you are able to get busted by the cops. It's basically you getting 5 stars in GTA, um, or however many stars you can get, and then you can collect wrenches and stuff along the way to fix your vehicle. Um, and then the more destruction you cause, and the more things that you break and whatnot, the higher up your thing goes, until it goes hit and run, and then you got to run away from the cops. It gets harder along the way. I've gotten to as far as Apu in this game, and it's very hard to stay away from the cops because each level you get more and more officers on your ass. Um, so, and then once you've gotten far away from them, then it'll stop, and then you're able to go with business as usual. They have some old classic characters like old Gil, who you can. Whoops! I just stole the guy's car. So, whoop. Damn it! I didn't want to do that either. And then you can obviously hit people with your vehicle, and they hysterically or hilariously, fall out of control. You can attack. You can attack them in any way, shape, or form. With Gil, you can buy stuff. You can buy the van, and I think that's about all I've gotten from him. I've gotten a few other vehicles from him. And then there's also racing missions that you can do. I think one of them is Cletus here. You can always talk to Cletus. And he will... I think he has like a chicken run type thing. So... But when this game came out, it actually did pretty well at sales as far as I know. I'm not 100% sure on that. But this is just one of many gaming videos that I'd like to start doing before too long. Most of which are going to be older games, simply because I don't have the newer games that everybody else plays, so just bear with me on that. But one of the other places you get to go to is the nuclear power plant. And oddly enough, you can drive into the nuclear power plant. They have the operation valve that they used in king-sized Homer, when Homer wears the moo-moo. And then you're able to have it explode just a little bit, or vent. So, let's see. And then, once you break your car enough, or if you damage your car enough, it literally just becomes a shell or a chassis. You can obviously fix it too. So, I'm at the nuclear power plant right now, running over fellow employees. And the attention to detail that this game does, despite its age, is actually pretty remarkable. For instance, this room here has a really nice, intricate design, despite it being a minor addition to the game. And then there's a couple of other things you get to do. So, there was comic book pieces and stuff up here that you're able to collect. You can also get like Buzz Cola coins throughout the game as well. So, and then you can also make Homer run really fast, and he starts complaining that he's running. So these are just some of the vehicles that you get to get. You can get the family sedan, you can get the Plow King Electros, which I still haven't found, pickup truck, which is Cletus's truck, the surveillance van, and then the Duff truck. And later you can get Mr. Plow, Auto School Bus, and a couple of other cars. So it's kind of fun. So But again, despite this game's older age, it's still fun to play. It hasn't aged terribly, but compared to modern day games or older games that came out of around this time, the graphics in this game are actually pretty cool. So, or pretty decent. So, and then you can also hijack this literally rocket powered car, which I think is awesome. Unfortunately, if you break this car, you don't get it. You can't get it back until after you've either restarted the game or come back to this point in the game after so much time has passed. You can stop by Burns' Manor. I don't think you can go in there in this game in this level. I think you can go through there in Marge's level, but I'm not 100% sure on that. One of the reasons why they give you the rocket-powered car is because there is a very hard token that you can get, and you got to rocket through the thing to get there. It's a pain in the ass to get out, and just like that, that car is no longer there. So. So I'm going to go ahead and call. Let's do a different car. The hell with it. We'll do this sedan. Well, like I said, I'm not doing any missions today because, it's just. I'm trying to start something new on my channel with video games and whatnot. Trying to keep it classy or old. One of the two. This is one of those times these are one of the times you can race kids or race people. So you can always talk with Nelson and have him set up a race. Or you can just kick the crap out of him, one of the two. So, I know nobody's signed on to this video, and that's fine. I don't expect a whole lot of live streamers yet. You're also able to go to Springfield Elementary. You get to do that in the second mission of Homer. Pretty modernly based. You have like Bart Simpson's classroom. You can pull a fire alarm for some reason. They have Bart's name written on the chalkboard. And then Mr. Burns for some reason is here. I think this is actually the first time I've seen Mr. Burns and Smithers here. And I've been playing this game for a long time. And I've never seen Mr. Burns or Smithers go through here. So I guess that's a callback to Who Shot Mr. Burns Part 1. Then you can also talk with Lisa. It's a little weird seeing Lisa 3D'd because of her hair design. But it's not mind-jarring either. And then you can also talk with Principal Skinner or push the button. And I always spam the button. And you can also come here to buy more clothes. So, basically it. And like I said, the graphics may not be great, but they're not as bad as they could be. And I think you're also able to talk to Groundskeeper Willie back here. They have a little ramp area that you can jump through. With a damaged school bus um, as well as the kids that you can hit, obviously. Groundskeeper really should be somewhere, but I don't know what happened to him. He's supposed to be around here. Oh, there he is. I was gonna say I know he hangs out around here somewhere. So you can also beat up Willie. You can beat up just about anybody in this game, which is kind of funny. But let's go ahead and head to the Simpson House, and you guys get to see what that's all about. There's a couple of small Easter eggs in there too. That's the nice thing about this game is they do add some Easter eggs from the show, and most of which are, from some of their better episodes. It's also kind of funny to see people jumping out of the way like that. I don't know what it is, but something about it's just satisfying. So you can collect stuff like this stuff too. Spine Melter 2000, which is a nod to the first episode that Homer's half-brother shows up, Herbert Powell, which is going to be the first episode in My Simpsons What If. What if Herbert was more of an actual character versus just a two episode only character, since he's voiced by Danny DeVito. I'm sure the studio couldn't afford to keep Danny in as long as they wanted. So. Oh. They have tons of these ramps that you can jump up to. I'm trying to remember how to get to the Simpsons house. Oh, they also have the Springfield Retirement Castle, which is where Grandpa is. You can't go in there for some odd reason. At least not at this level. I think you're able to go in there at the Bart or Lisa level, because you have to talk to Grandpa or something. And now I'm stuck. Oh shit. There we are. Okay, there's the Quickie Mart. Real quick, I just want to point out, I think the gags and stuff that Homer says throughout Drive, if you are a bad driver in video games like me, it's hysterical on some of the stuff that he says. So, okay. Simpson's house is another place you get to go to, obviously. You can't go virtually anywhere except out. So you can't go into the main living room area that they go in. They do have the famous couch for the couch gag. As well as a GameCube controller, oddly enough, on the ground. The old-fashioned antenna sets that they have back then. Some speakers. and then Hot Wheels toys, along with Bart's skateboard, and what looks to be some kind of DVD player in the back. You can't go out the back door, but you have occasionally Grandpa will show up. Sometimes it's Maggie, um, and I think a couple other times it's also Marge, but it's mostly Grandpa and Maggie who come through this door. And again, you can't go into the kitchen, but you are able to interact with the TV. So, but you are able to go behind the Simpsons house, and obviously for those of you who may know this, but this is actually Sideshow Bob's house, because there's an episode, The Bob Next Door. It's one of their newer episodes. Well, not newer. It's one of their newer-ish episodes. Sideshow Bob switches his face with an inmate, similar to how John Travolta and Nicolas Cage did that in Face Off. And the whole story goes crazy from there. It's not a bad episode, but it's always kind of funny to think of when you think that Sideshow Bob literally lives right next door to The Simpsons. There's a very hard way to get up into the treehouse. You have to have a big truck or something over here, and then you have to double jump to get in. But you are able to get at least up to the ledge, but you can't actually go inside the treehouse. You're able to break the swing set, which I think is a nod to one of their earlier episodes when Homer actually tried to swing on the swing set and broke it. I can't remember. They also have the porch lights, the garden hose stuff, the famous grill that Homer uses from time to time. You're able to stand on the fire for some reason. And you can see inside Bart's room. Again, you can't go in there in this level. I know for a fact you are able to go in there in the Marge level. And then they have this thing, which I think is a callback to one of the earlier episodes. Burns gave them this. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I know that they do have this at some point in the show, and it appears from time to time. And then you can also go into Ned Flanders' backyard, where they have a tire swing, which is odd because you would think that Ned Flanders would not have a swing at all. So again, you can't go into Ned's house, which I think is crap because I would love to go inside Ned's house. You are able to speak with Rod and Todd that are inside the storm cellar after the Hurricane Nettie episode, when Ned Flanders' house is completely destroyed by a hurricane and he completely snaps on the entire town. So if you open the door, they say a few random phrases, but again, you can only open the door once, then you have to go back, let this part of the map reset, and then you can come back and you can do it again. Or once you sign back into the game. In the earlier parts of the game, I can't do it now because I've already completed that part of the mission, but Ned Flanders usually hangs out here, and you're able to beat him up and talk to him and whatnot. But for some reason, after you've completed that mission, Ned kind of goes away. So, and then you can always just cause random destruction and get some random coins. You are able to steal vehicles, very similar to Grand Theft Auto. So, it's not as fun as driving your real car because it's for some reason it's not. They do brake easier. They do brake faster, which I think is kind of funny that a civilian car brakes faster than an actual game car that a character can get. So it's either they don't last as long as the real cars, and then once you just do enough damage, it blows up. And then that's all that's left. And surprisingly enough, you are able to still drive it as a gag. I don't know if you're able to do this in Grand Theft Auto, but I do know you can do it in the Simpsons game. and it is hysterical because this is as fast as you can go, and it's it's weird. And then obviously it's mostly meant to be a sarcastic type joke. And now I'm actually stuck. There we are. So you hit the wrench, your car is immediately restored in perfect working order. So. And you can obviously get back in your own car. Oh! One thing I would have to say if I didn't, the thing I didn't like about this game is Homer's car's design. While for the most part it's not bad, it's actually pretty decent. Homer doesn't drive a convertible. And I think that's the only thing I really don't like about this game is simply that. But other than that, the game is pretty fun and very, very faithful to The Simpsons, despite it obviously being a ripoff of Grand Theft Auto or being inspired by Grand Theft Auto. So at some point I'll go through this game level by level and go from there. Don't expect me to be good at it because it's been a while since I've actually played the actual missions. So I've actually, if I remember correctly, I'd skipped some of the missions simply because they were either too complicated or I just forgot how to do it or couldn't get it done in time. It's also kind of funny to hear some of the citizens' voices as you pass them. Like you can hear Milhouse screaming, "This is a school zone." You can hear the music teacher saying, "Spines don't bend that way," or "This is one weird place." And that was not my fault. I didn't mean to hit the car. Then also if you get busted, or if the cop catches you, you get a $50 fine. Which oddly puts me at an even $600. Oh, and for some reason you're able to talk to Ralph about racing, which honestly I'm surprised because Ralph is an idiot and you just wouldn't think he would be smart enough to put a race together. So I love how the characters just shake all their body parts as they freaking fly. So, that's just one of the many features of this game. Now, let's talk about the future of the channel now that I've done ranting and raving about this awesome game. One of the things that's going to be happening before too long, like I said earlier, which is also in spite of this video, is the Simpsons What If thing that I'd like to start doing. Don't expect any clips from The Simpsons because of obviously copyright claims. I don't need to have that Fox breathing down my neck or Disney breathing down my neck either. But just FYI. Oh, and then also one thing I forgot to mention: I don't like the look of the lard lad lard man that they did. It looks too much like Elvis for some reason. That doesn't look how I picture Lard Lad would look like in 3D. But other than that, the rest of the game isn't bad. You can jump on air panels to get a little bit of a boost. Oh, and you don't have to be in your car to actually get these wrenches. But either way, once you head back to your car, provided I can find mine. Where did I park? Aha. It'll still fix your car either way. We're going to go ahead and head back to the nuclear power plant because there's a few other Easter eggs and stuff that you get to do there. They also have these cheap Mayor Quimby signs that was from the Mayor Bob when Sideshow Bob runs for mayor against Quimby. They have these signs posted everywhere in that episode. They also have them posted everywhere in this game. So we're going to take the shortcut to the nuclear power plant. So this hatch over here is actually for the Marge level, I believe. That's one of the entrances that you can get to from Burns Manor, I believe. And then once you get one of the other locations you can go to is Homer's office. There's a whole bunch of things that you can, well, not really a whole bunch of things you can do here, but there's a whole bunch of things that you can do all throughout here. So this whole big room is just one big challenge. And it's a little bit of a time-consuming one, but it's not bad. You got the fish tank. I believe, I can't remember what episode that is in, but you're able to do that. They have the lever with what appears to be a donut box, which is kind of funny. Then you have all these computer rooms. Essentially, this is actually where Frank Grimes' door should be, but because you can't really do much in this or go a whole lot of places, that's probably why they just turned it into some computers. Then they have the leaking barrel of toxic waste over here from CE Dope. As well as more computers over here. This actually might be where Frank Grimes' lab should be, but I believe it's actually supposed to be on this side instead. And then you're able to make the whole room malfunction, and a skeleton shows up in the toxic pit. So a little bit morbid, but you know what? Who cares? For some reason, you are partially able to bring your car into here, but it's a pain to try to get out. So if you ever play this game, I would not recommend it. Oh, there we go. So, yay, I actually got out of there. So, you can push that and it'll stop moving just long enough for you to keep going. There's a whole bunch of little things that you can do on this catwalk up here. It's all supposed to help you get one of those papers that I got earlier. And also, you're supposed to smash like all of these drones that Burns is using to spy on you. But there's a page or something up there that's a pain in the ass to get. But if you time it right, you're able to get it fairly quickly. And whatever you do, don't fall off of those because it's hell to get back up here. And then somehow Homer's acrobatic enough to climb on ceiling fans and make his way over to the other portion where the page would be right here, but since I already got it, I don't have to worry about that. Probably hurt Homer's butt unbelievably proportioned. They can also zoom in for some reason. So, you can also look up, zoom in. But it's more fun to zoom in on Homer. And for some reason, you're able to get the Plow King. If I remember correctly, you have to destroy Smithers' car with it, which is kind of funny. Because I always wondered what happened or why Homer doesn't have the snowplow that he did. I know it gets repossessed in the Mr. Plow episode, but I think it's kind of funny that they didn't include the Mr. Plow truck in this level. You are able to get it in the Bart Simpson level, but for somehow Homer has it back. There's also a callback later where Apu has to buy the Homer truck that his half brother was ruined from. For those of you who don't know, Homer did have a half brother. And later in that episode, Homer is given a job to design a car, and it completely ruins his brother's life. So, and oddly enough, the car was called the Homer. So that's not a made-up name. That's actually what it was called. If you get into the cemetery, there's actually one of the tombstones here is Frank Grimes, which is from Homer's Enemy episode. So I can't remember if it's in this mission or in this level that you can see it, but I know there's a way that you can find Frank Grimes' tombstone. But I know one of these has Frank Grimes. I want to say it was this one, but that's later. But I know one of these things you're able to, it has Frank Grimes. And yes, I know I'm technically in the pet cemetery part of it because they have the dog. That's weird. I swear I remember seeing Frank Grimes' tombstone over here. Well, you get the point. Frank Grimes has several Easter eggs hidden throughout the game. So that's basically it for this video. Thank you guys so much for those of you who joined me on this live stream. I know the quality on it's not as good as it should have been, or could have been, one of the two. Next time I play a game, it'll probably be the GameCube Ultimate Spider-Man game, which is clinically acclaimed the best, or one of the best, Spider-Man games ever. So stick around for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll catch you guys all later on, well, in this case, Ultimate Homer Simpson, but on Ultimate Deadpool. Peace out. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys all later. Bye.